Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest at 14368 Southeast Lee Avenue. We are now at the front right building. Again, I'm describing all this if you're standing out here in the main road facing into the property. Drop into 4-inch cast iron. Looks like we transition there over to Transite. I'm going to probably have to do a little bit of reviewing of this video in proper lighting at home. I've got some pretty nasty sun glares on the screen at the moment. That looks like 4-inch Transite concrete though. Furthermore, I probably have to do some reviewing at home. I've got I don't know if I'm sitting on top of a yellow jacket's nest, but I've got just bees everywhere around me right now. I've got to get out of this spot here before I get stung here in a minute. Alright, we're going to go locate here. This is the main. We're going to pull back in a little bit here and relocate. My signal out in the road out there is coming in kind of weak, but it's about where I would expect to pick up the locate signal. Anyway, I'm going to do some reviewing of the video at home in better lighting and where I don't have a swarm of bees around me. The line is graded well. No issues as far as slope and grade goes. I will take a look at the pipe joints though to see if they look compromised. There's a couple that looked a little suspect there on the advance out, but not affecting flow. Alright, that locate signal came in properly. That we're sitting about 4 feet from the street edge right now. That's an earthworm right there, so that kind of answers my question. Alright, and I'm kind of limited on what I can. I've got to get out of this spot here. I'm getting swarmed at the moment. I did put a green arrow down there as a reference mark just before the street edge. We are at about 5 feet deep there. So you've got a spot right like that right there. I can clearly see a hole is forming there at the pipe joint. The earthworm also clued us in. These joints do appear compromised. When I get home, I'll take a better look. It may be all of them. Anyway, the line runs dang near dead straight. It starts to veer off. Yeah, you've got a crack forming right there too. So from a flow standpoint, by and large, things are getting to where they need to go, but the transite here is deteriorating. And what happens is that one right there is probably one of the more advanced ones. They start out as holes, and then they start to turn into running cracks that form. And they'll just start running away from that spot. So the plus side is there's good slope and grade. So that does give you the option of doing something like a trenchless epoxy liner. And I would recommend doing that sooner rather than later. Just what I've seen so far here, I've seen multiple joints now that are clearly compromised, and there's likely more I'll be able to identify in a difference when I get home. You know, the line's exposed to the ground in multiple locations, so this is one I would recommend updating from that standpoint. As far as flow goes, just plainly from that point right now, the line is still functioning from that standpoint, but the line is exposed to the ground. Your line needs to convey sewage from A to B and also retain it and or remain closed off from the ground. So it may not be sewage escaping the line. Groundwater can seep into it, things like that. And that's also one of those things that can cause the line to progress over time as far as settling goes, which luckily has not occurred yet. So if it's not updated now, I would recommend rescoping every year to monitor that line until it's ready for update to watch for settling problems that may occur. But up until about the end of the line there, the line runs just about dead straight from here to the middle of the road.